by most accounts, this was quite a contentious meeting. We know these ministers were meeting for several hours, and the start of the meeting itself was actually delayed. How exactly did the ministers reach the agreement that they came to late last night?
Yeah, it was really a marathon to cover, and there were lots of deliberations that happened ahead of the meeting. We understand that there were meetings taking place in Prince Abdulaziz's suite until 2 a.m. That's the night before the meeting. This was with all the African ministers, some of the other OPEC plus states. They were discussing the issue of the baselines. So took a lot, but they did deliver, and we're calling it really a mega deal. There's so much to digest here between the baselines, the extension of the cuts. You have the Saudi voluntary cut in July. So a lot for the market to take in.
Absolutely. And when it comes to that Saudi voluntary cut, the Saudi energy minister calling this the Saudi lollipop. What do you think that's going to mean for the market long term? And is it likely that Saudi Arabia could extend that cut into the future as he suggested?
Well, he said it really depends on the market, and I think Prince Abdulaziz loves for the market to keep guessing what his next move is. And yesterday, there was a question again at the press conference, which crude grades are they going to be cutting when it comes to exports? Let's remember, production is different than exports, but we were reminded by the Prince yesterday that this cut is going to be a real cut. So it's really going to be 1 million barrels a day off of Aramco's production. How it impacts the market, again, remains to be seen, but I think the market is aware that Saudi Arabia does deliver on its commitments.
Who would you say are the main winners and losers out of this deal? We know there was some issues of contention among some of the African producers. At the same time, the UAE has also walked out of this. Russia has walked out of this with an agreement that seems to work in their favor. Is that a fair assessment?
I would say yes. The UAE did get a larger production baseline. However, if you do look at the voluntary cuts and how they're extended, at the net gain for the UAE, it's not that massive. For the African states, I would say Nigeria and Angola, they are the ones that have to curb their quotas quite a bit. But that's under revision. We saw the table. It has those asterisks. It means that, they're still going to revisit that. They have the independent sources looking at their capacity. So there is still potential for those quotas to be revised, Dan. And yeah, Russia, they do have an agreement they like, and they're still very much willing to be part of this group and cooperate. Reports of tension between Saudi Arabia and Russia and potentially blowing up this meeting, we've seen that was not the case at all.